Hey crafters, this is Nye here. So today I'm really excited. We are going to be assembling a 3D lantern turkey for Thanksgiving. I'm going to be using my art glitter glue here for all of my gluing, and we are going to have a lot of gluing with this one today. All right, so as you can see, I've got all of my pieces here. They're lined up. I've got the turkey feathers lined up facing me. So this is going to be the front of my turkey. And then I have my turkey feathers that are going to go on the back over here off to the side. Obviously, I can't get everything all lined up. So that way it's perfect right away. I've got to work one side at a time. Okay. So I've got everything here. We're ready to start gluing right away. And that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to start up here with the hat. And I don't know if I'm going to speed up the video here. There's so many different parts. I might not speed up the video, but we're just going to work here with the hat. What you want to do is just kind of get everything lined up by holding it between your fingers, just getting it in that right position. I'm going to add some glue here to the back. So this part's just the band of his pilgrim hat here. And I've got glue in my fingers already. What's new? And then I'm just kind of placing it right there. Okay, so that's this part of the hat. I'm going to put this one, this is the back of my hat. So I'm going to put this one over here, just push it off a little bit more to the side. I'm going to move the face. Well, let's glue the face too. Since we've got it here, let's just start gluing the face. So I'm just adding the glue here to the back, going all around where the holes for the eyes are. And I'm going to hold this one here. So I've got 3 fingers to kind of guide me. I'm going to stick this one here, so there's 4. And I'm going to place this one right between those fingers and just use my fingers as the guide here to get it lined up in that perfect position. I'm going to do the same thing now with this yellow one here. But the same thing is, I already know this position. It's just going to go right here. So I'm just going to add the glue right to the back, black, not to the back. And then I'm just going to place this one right down again, using my fingers as that guide. And then the same thing too, right about here, I'm just going to add the glue just in that little spot there. I'm going to put this finger here, and that's going to help me get it in the right position. Then I'm going to move this one and put it right there. Okay, so now we're kind of coming towards the base of the turkey. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to do the feathers. So I cut these out in a different color only because I thought it would add a little bit more dimension to the turkey here. And so I'm just lining this one right up there. And then I'm going to do the same thing here on the other side. Just lining everything up, adding my glue first, and then I'm just going to line everything up. So just take your time when you're lining things up, just to make sure you're getting it in the right position. And remember too, that if you're off a little, you've got about 5 seconds to shift things around before the glue sticks and then you're stuck. So I'm going to move this one over here. So I've got this part here I still need to glue, but I'm going to hold off and wait until the end. And then I've got this part here, which is kind of the base of my turkey, and then the back piece underneath. I'm going to slide out this back piece, and I'm going to put it off to the side, and I'm going to focus here on the feathers. Now, the feathers are going to be glued to the back base, and the reason why we're gluing them to the back base here, and it's not kind of like everywhere up here, is because I didn't want to make it too thick, and there's just so many different colors that I kind of wanted it to be hidden by what's going to be this top part here of the turkey. So I'm going to start here at the bottom, and then I'm going to work my way up. And so again, what you can do is just add your glue kind of all over. And when you're lining up this yellow one, you want to make sure that the orientation is correct. So you want to make sure that when you line it up, the gap here, this hole, is meeting up with the gap here at the bottom. And just take your time and make sure that you're getting everything in that right position before the glue dries and bonds and then you're stuck, okay? This part's going to be really important because if it's off just a little, what might happen is your feathers might get off just a little. And it's not a big deal. but it might show a little. And if you're really off, then it's really going to show. And again, it's not a big deal, but if you're going for like perfection, which I think I'm going for because of my personality, you do just kind of want to make sure that you're taking your time. And so again, because I had these lined up already, I'm not double checking, even though I probably should be. So as you can see, like I should be double checking to make sure that I've got it, my spacing just right. This one's good. So I'm going to go ahead, flip it over, add the glue to the back here. And then I'm going to place it down again. And now, instead of lifting this one up and kind of using my fingers as my guide, I'm leaving this one down only because I've got the other side here to work with, and I don't want everything to kind of get shifted. There's a little bit of pieces here, just a little bit of a fuzzy, I think, stuck from the paper. So let's just double check this one more time. And this one, again, you're going to want to make sure that you get it lined up, but you're also going to want to make sure that it lines up right here with the top part of the opening. So I'm going to add my glue to the back, and I think I'm going to have to get a little bit higher here so I can make sure that it's lining up just right. Okay, there we go. All right, so now time for the other side. And this is where this part of layering the feathers here, it can get a little tedious because we're doing the same thing, and it just requires a lot of precision and focus. All right, so there's that one. And then let's do the orange here. And again, like I said, I had these already lined up, so they were already in that right position. And so I'm not double checking it like I should. But when we flip this one over and we go to the other side, I will be double checking it all. Only because, just to make sure, because I don't want it to be off and I don't want to make a mistake. I don't want to have to redo the video for one, and I don't want to have to cut again because, you know, it didn't use a lot of cardstock, but at the same time it did. Okay, so this looks really good. I'm going to go ahead and flip it now to the other side here. And so I've got this top piece. I don't know if you guys can still see it here in the camera, but I'm going to move it down just a little bit. And then I'm going to start to layer this one here. So again, you want to make sure that the gap here is lining up. And so this is going to go the other way. And that looks really good there. And then I think it's the red, and then it's the orange, and then it's the green. So let's get this one kind of shifted a little bit there. And so you can see a little bit of my coloring has gone there. And so just getting it lined up. And I know like this part might seem like, why is she spending so much time doing this? But once you get this part lined up, it will make the rest of it so much easier and faster and smoother. Okay, so it was yellow, red, orange. So again, that one's going to go on the other side, I can already tell. It's kind of like a puzzle that we're putting together. We cut it out, it's all together in the file, and then we cut it out, and then we kind of have to puzzle piece it back together in actuality. That looks good there. And then for the green here, okay, that's where it's going to go. And then this one, that one kind of shifted a little bit. It's okay because I haven't started gluing yet. All right. Okay. So that looks good there. All right. So now I'm going to start to glue, and I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm just going to add my glue to the back, and then I'm going to place it down and line everything up. So I'm going to speed up the video for this part, and then when I'm ready to start gluing the brown pieces down, then I'll slow it back down for the moment. Okay. All right. So now that I've got all of my feathers down, so I've got the front and the back side here, I've got them both down. I'm ready to take this part and just layer it right on top. So this is going to be the back of my turkey. If you remember, I've got this one here with my feathers. That's going to be the front. Now, when you go to line up the back, you can already see that this one, it needs to be flipped. So I'm going to flip it like this. And you can see it right there. So this is just the back side of our turkey friend here. And you can even see his hands, even though there's no hands at the back because he's got his feathers, but we're just gonna let it slide. But you can see it right here. And so that's in the right position. And so all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip it over, and then I'm just gonna start to add my glue everywhere here, okay? So we're just adding it around on the paper. And then I'm going to get here in the center. And then again, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to lift it. And I'm going to hold it here between my fingers and use my fingers as a guide to help me get it in the right position. And remember too, when you're getting that right position, you've got about 5 seconds before the glue bonds and then it's stuck. All right, that looks pretty good. So I'm just checking it from the other side as well. And then let's do the back of his hat while we're still here at the back side. So I've got the back of the hat here. So I'm going to add the glue here again. So I told you, this one's just going to be a lot of gluing here. All right, so there. And then this part's going to go right there, which is just going to be the back rim of the hat. So you just want to get it all lined up and in place before you start. And that looks good. And then I'm going to add his feet here at the back as well, just to kind of finish it off. Okay, so I lined it up just to check my alignment. I'm adding the glue to the back. And then I'm just going to press it down once I get it aligned again. So this one's really, it's a lot of patience as you're gluing. But as you can see, we're almost done here with our friend, which is fantastic. All right, so I'm going to bring this part back over and it's going to sit right on top here. So again, just check to make sure that everything's lining up. So yes, it's right. And then just add your glue to the back. And you can be generous with your glue here. So I'm just getting it all over. And then placing it down. Okay. All right. And then we're going to add his feet as well. And so once more, alignment, alignment, alignment. Super, super important here. Okay. And so this guy is actually going to be kind of sturdy inside the lantern. Like he's going to be kind of thick because we've got a couple layers here. Okay. So make sure that you've got this part down so that way it's not hitting the, so that way you still have the little gap underneath there. Okay, that's good. And then let's add in the hat and the face, and then we'll be ready to start the lantern part. All right, so I just added glue to the back of the hat. I didn't need to check the orientation for this one because it's obvious which side is the front and which side is the back here. All right, something is a little off, but I think, I don't know. It's not too bad, but I think I placed this one down a little bit further and that caused this part to be up a little bit higher. And so it's compensating. But anyway, it's okay. It's still good. And then we're just going to add his face, which is the same thing. And then you can just kind of place that down anywhere. You know, I wouldn't go too far down, you know, just kind of eyeball where in the center that would be, and then just place it there. Okay. And so you can pick up your piece here and you can tell he's pretty sturdy. I mean, I think it's probably about 4 sheets or maybe 3 sheets there. He's nice and sturdy and solid. Okay. So the next part is we're going to work on the pieces of the lantern here. So before I started the video, I went ahead and I glued down the sides. I did 5 of them already. And then for this one, I saved it so that way we could do it together. You do kind of want to check to make sure that you're going to go the same orientation, or, you know, if you wanted it this way and you wanted to mix and match, that's okay too. I'm keeping mine all the same. So what I'm going to do is I want them going this way. I'm going to flip this side here, and I'm just going to kind of go around and add just a little bit of glue along the edge here. And then just a little bit to the inside here. And that looks pretty good. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece down. I'm going to place it right where I added the glue. And then I'm just wiping away any of the excess that might come through. And if you have some more coming through on this side, you can wipe it away with a paper towel, or you can use your finger. And ironically, I don't have my paper towel here either. Okay, so that's pretty much it. And for our gluing part, now the rest we're just going to kind of put together with our hands. All right, so we've got these pieces here. We're going to hold these together and kind of line them up. So make sure that your gaps are all lining up. If you've got one going the wrong way, you can tell, okay? You can tell because you've got this here and it's just, you can tell, all right? So make sure that they're going the right way, okay? And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna hold it up, and then this bottom part here where you see my fingernail can go right through, we're gonna fish that through right here at the bottom and push it so it goes all the way through. So mine is not going as well. There it goes. Okay, and same thing with the top. Push it so it goes all the way through. Okay. And then we're going to kind of separate these. Well, before we do that, let's work on the bottoms. So you can already see he kind of like stands up there. So you see how I just kind of separated the two again? And just kind of made it like at an angle there. All right. So now we've got our 2 circle pieces here that have slots. What we're going to do, let me move this guy a little bit so you guys can see it a little bit more. He's probably going to tip and fall because he's not sturdy just yet. Okay, so you can see that this bottom one here is larger than this top one. That bottom one that's larger is the part that's going to go at the bottom. And what we're going to do is we're going to fish all these side hoops here. So like where you see these slots here, all the way around, that's what's going to connect to this part here that's kind of sticking out. And then these slots that are going lengthwise, that's where our sides are going to go. Okay, so it doesn't really matter which way you kind of put this in, but you just slide it in through the slot. So let me see if I can bring this up so you guys can see it. So just slide it right in through the slot there, then grab one of the sides and it's going to go, this slot here is going to go right in there. It's a little hard to do this with, so holding it up at the camera so you guys can see, that one's going to go right through there. Then this one's going to go right through there. So that one shifted, so I've got to go back and fix it. And then it's the same thing for the back side too. Once you get the front, it actually becomes a lot easier to do the other side. Okay. And this part slid out. Okay, let me see. There it goes. Okay. And so you can see the opening right there. And then we're going to do the same thing with the top piece. So it's also going to slide right in the same slots, just like the bottom. And everything fits the same way in the top here. All right. And we're almost done. It just takes time to get this part going. And then you can push it right up so that way it's flush against the top, just like this. So let me lift it this way so you guys can see. All right. Just make sure that you've got it all. So hopefully you can see it, right? This top one is flush to the top. The bottom one is flush to the bottom right there. And then it sets, okay? Hopefully you guys can see this. I can't really tell because my camera is above me. All right, and so now for the sides. So this is where if you wanted to go ahead and stick a lantern, you could do a little tea light on the inside. Not one with a real flame, but just a little LED tea light, obviously. And then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go ahead and place these sides right in the slots that are there. And so they'll fit right in. You do kind of want to just curve it just a little bit. So that's the one. That one kind of bent on me a little bit, but it's okay. And then I'm going to do this one. You could also go like the opposite way if you wanted to. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to go the opposite now. Make sure that this is all seated just to kind of create some balance. So I'm going to do that one there. Then I'm going to come in on this side and do this one here. So it's pretty easy once you get it going. And then just for these last two right here, I'm just bending it right in, and so it goes right through the slot. So there's that one. And then for this last one right here, and then there we go. And so once you get all of that going, there's your lantern guy. All right, so this one's really cute. You could put it like on the Thanksgiving table. It would be really adorable. So be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much for watching, you guys, and happy crafting.